Collaborative change patterns. The Mind Map report as a presentation given by Octavia Boykin. Email address oboykin@bgsu.edu. Course number 6015, Spring Semester 2019. My presentation, Collaborative Change Patterns, will examine the processes I use to look into the patterns of the 8 change methods. Over the next few slides, I will take you through the development of the affinity diagram, which helped with producing my mind map. Whole systems collaborative change is based on inclusiveness and a systematic approach to improvement, which supports sustainability. We'll look at methods that reflect what it takes to create true collaboration in order to make change using the all-hands-on-deck approach. Successfully, you'll be a change leader that creates transformation through collective efforts, with accountability distributed throughout your community or organization. The 8 change methods. As we constantly experience change, the change methods were created to aid the change process for a variety of purposes in communities or organizations. The 3 methods I selected were Six Sigma, collaborative loops, and dialogue and deliberation. I selected these 3 methods because they resonated with me in regards of their focus on collaborating and using creativity. I approached this assignment nervously, thinking about the lack of technical experience I have and the anxiety I experience when speaking. Anxiously anticipating the end result, I persevered with sweaty palms and shaky legs, finishing the presentation. When going through the affinity diagram process, I went through numerous brainstorming moments trying to organize my thoughts around the words and concepts. I started the process by listing and color coding the 8 methods of change. I used the change handbooks to search keywords and phrases and then group them based on correlation. I began to notice some of the words and concepts fit in multiple categories. Although similar to mind mapping, the affinity diagram process was a great tool for preparation of my mind map. At this point, I will not change anything until I gain more experience with both of them. After completing this process, I started in the mind map process, which has similarities of the affinity diagram. With collaboration as my centered focus, I started mentally processing the following step. Starting with dissecting and redefining the elements of my mind map and beginning to enjoy the process. As I took a moment to review the process, a linkage of thoughts began to flow through my mind, linking the concepts of collaboration to words on my map. On one piece of notebook paper, I wrote out all the concepts and linked them to the 8 elements. For the next few slides, I will briefly define the 8 elements. Systems. Systems benefit culture and community change and build relationships to ensure that all are able to succeed. Experience. It's a collaborative change effort that leads to innovation approaches, the opportunity to experience different perspectives, and collaborative actions and new processes. Invitation. To leverage authentic invitation and generate positive outcomes, to emerge from different teams and experiences. Purpose. Purpose is a positive approach aligned with a vision. Evidence. Evidence is the bottom line approach with tangible inputs and outputs. Mastery. System-driven approach demonstrated through techniques and concepts for continuous development and improvement. Values. Leaning on values motivate the performance of change, in turn bridging gaps and embracing democracy. Technology, as it continues to grow, it increases memory and continuity. Using the all-hands-on-deck approach alongside the affinity diagram and mapping will demonstrate a collaborative change pattern within communities and organizations. Therefore, at this point, I will not change any of the elements. I believe the tools that can be used in the OD field when you have complex issues lacking in organizations are the affinity diagram and the mind mapping. The history of the affinity diagram dates back to 1960 when it was invented by Jiro Kawada, and mind mapping dates back to the 3rd century. Both are used as an approach to process improvement. They tell us how to organize a large group of information. Best practices where the affinity diagram and mind mapping are used in OD are team building and effectiveness, creating a culture of engagement. I intend to use the tools in groups when trying to visualize data and discover relationships between dissimilar ideas. My intention for this assignment was to learn how to use each process and how it works, so I can add them to my OD toolkit and use them in the future. Initially, I did not understand the process of the assignment. Although it seems simple, it was more complex than I anticipated. This assignment has provided me with a better outlook on what to expect for future assignments. I should expect assignments that will cause me to dig much deeper than what's in the description of the assignment sheet. I am actually not looking forward to the challenge of the next assignment. Here are my references. Thank you for taking your time and listening to my presentation.